Hi everybody, this is Ingi, and today I'm going to talk about the Empress card. This information is on my website. The only information I'm giving you here that's not on the website is what Empress, what she basically will act like if she's a person who's in love with you. So that will be at the end, and that's on Patreon. So basically that series is what a tarot card, like if someone is in love with you and you pull a card, how they're going to act, then you get the Empress, then you'll get at the end how they're going to act then. And also I made on Midjourney a card, an Empress tarot card, what she will look like if she's in love. So that's just a fun series. I did all the cards and it's on Patreon. And also if you're on Patreon, you have a password. I changed the password yesterday for a site called I Am Tarot. That I Am Tarot website is all about reading widget, and I'm adding new reading widgets as well. And some of them are under a password, but some of it is free to use. But if you're on my Patreon, you have the password, so you get quite a lot on Patreon. You get like, I don't know how many posts I have there, but there's quite a lot. So all of my previous tutorials on YouTube is now on Patreon. Okay, so Empress, in a general upright meaning, she basically can speak of your mother or being a mother, fertility. She speaks of abundance. She's connected to Venus, so it's abundance that's stable. It's slow, like if you manifested something, it's quite slow, but because it's stable. It's about beauty, and it's also about attractiveness, being attractive, being adored, being put a bit on a pedestal. So it's a very happy card. However, with all the major arcana cards, when you get it, even if you don't read with reversals, read every card, especially the major arcana cards, as if they're both a bit upright and reversed, because there is powerful lessons there. And usually you're being taught with the major arcana cards through opposites. So you're getting kind of what you want. If you want nurturing and love, you get it because there's been another area of your life you've been neglected. And spiritual meaning of Empress is actually when you're healing from some neglect actually in your life, and that you need more nurturing in your life. So there is actually also a bit of a warning in the Empress, that also the Empress, if you think about the Empress, she's like, if she was an actual Empress, she'd be quite demanding actually. So sometimes she can speak of people who are a little bit high maintenance, not low maintenance. But the Empress in your layout also talks about everything that's affecting your, your home, your heart. Home is where your heart is. Love, but it's deep love. I have a series on Tarot Ingi as well that speaks about what the Empress and all the major arcana cards mean in a love reading. She's deep, deep love when she's at the most positive, because she's so nurturing. Venus, rules Taurus, the sign for Hierophant, and Libra, the sign for justice. So if you get, the Empress with the Hierophant, it's very positive. If you get it with justice, it can actually be that you're dealing with some karmic issues in relationships regarding to how much you feel like you deserve to receive love and nurturing. She represents feminine power, family-oriented person, a mother figure, abundance, femininity, fertility, love in the home, and family. But she's also incredibly powerful in career as well, which I'm going to talk about. This is someone, when she's at her most positive, she owns her own beauty. She's creative, nurturing, she makes everything beautiful. That's her gift. She makes everything around her really beautiful. If you get this card with a lot of the number 6 in numerology, it's a very fertile time. So if you're wanting to have a baby, for example, that's a really good time then to get pregnant. In a love reading, it is, when it's at its most positive, it does speak of long-lasting love and loyalty, happily ever after. And if you are single, you can manifest in someone who loves you unconditionally, who's very nurturing and very loving, who makes your life better. You can create a lot of beauty and abundance. And in a career reading, this is actually someone who's incredibly intelligent. So you can do well in every career. But what will be kind of your, your advantage with this card, if this is you in a career reading, it means that people want to be around you because you make their life better. So it's like how you make people feel is like your superpower. And if you make everything beautiful, you know, people want to be around you because you have like that effect that you make everything more beautiful, you make everything better, you make everyone feel good. So in a career reading, it can be getting promoted just because people want to be around you. So you're getting those jobs that are really, really good because the people in those roles want you with them, basically, because you make them feel better. But when it speaks of just a career, it can actually speak of, again, any industry, but because it is beauty, you know, it's Venus, it can be beauty and fashion, actually. But she's so good at business as well. And sometimes I actually see her as someone who, she can concentrate quite well as well over a long period of time. So that's why she's so good at everything she does. And she takes it very seriously as well. And again, she just has this intuition of knowing how to do things the easy way rather than the hard way. Can mean also if you want to work from home, it's also very possible as well. It's more likely a yes in a yes no. As feelings, she speaks of unconditional love. It's a type of love that makes us feel whole. So that's the sort of feelings that she evokes. And she, you know, it's sort of love similar to strength, especially if you get it with strength, that it is a love that lasts in good times and in bad times. I read an article I wrote a long time ago about serious monogamists. And when they had a relationship with someone who was the strength, and the strength is similar to the Empress, then it usually ended in alcoholism, because I think it was more strength reversed, really, but I wasn't reading with reverse. But so when you get the major arcanicas, you really have to look at both upright and reversed. And when Empress is feelings, she is the sort of feelings of someone that's your rock, similar to strength card. But because they're a little bit high maintenance, they have high standards, sometimes they feel like, you know, take the edge off. They can flip into the more the negatives, basically. And that's when you get the problems with drinking and issues like that. But overall, when you're just reading the positives, this is unconditional love card, similar to the strength card. And this is the sort of love that heals, that smooths, that makes whole again. As a personality type, this is someone warm, sensual, loving, charismatic, beautiful, you know, inside and out. This is someone, you know, when you describe them as just as beautiful on the inside as the outside. The personality makes them more beautiful. They love deeply. They're very affectionate. They're creative. They have these instincts about them. They know when people need, you know, extra love and care. They're very, very intelligent. I think the Empress is one of the most intelligent cards in the deck. She's artistic, but she's super intuitive about doing things, so she's like practical as well. And they make their beautiful lives, you know, very accessible, you know, to people, because they're not someone who would close other people off. They usually have a lot of people in their lives, so a lot of people benefit from the Empress and her ability to create on this plane of existence. And when she's really positive, she becomes an excellent parent. When it's reversed, it speaks of neglect. It speaks of kind of neglect, and it can be neglect in the core programming of the person, which makes them then a bit more difficult to deal with. They can become very highly strung and high maintenance, and then there's lack of attention rather than nurturing. So she can be like someone who has a really hard time giving affection because they lacked affection themselves growing up. So then they don't know how to protect either. Maybe no one protected them when they were growing up, so now they don't know how to protect someone that needs protection. So it can be like not being able to protect something that needs protecting. So if you get it with 9 of Wands, especially if you get it with 9 of Wands reversed, then there's something in your life that really needs protecting that maybe you're not seeing. So you need to have a look at in your life what needs protecting that you're not really seeing right now. And something needs your attention. It can be your family, a project, a relationship, an enterprise, a home, you know, it can be anything. But something needs your attention when this is a reverse that you need to look at. Because this can actually speak of abandonment of something that needs your attention, affection, and protection. So it could be that, nurturing instincts are not there because they were never really built in the person for whatever reason. So if you go into then the spiritual meaning, it is actually healing from when the person was neglected and ignored as a child. And the moon card supports that actually. If you want to incorporate spiritual meaning, I have that in my book, Learn to Read Tarot Like a Pro. It isn't just spiritual meaning, it's just general meaning and everything as well, but it's also spiritual meaning. So, also, this card shows up reversed when the person you're reading for feels unattractive. They don't feel beautiful, so they have issues with beauty. They might be the most beautiful person on the planet, but they don't feel beautiful. They feel unattractive, and therefore they sometimes lash out because they feel triggered easily. They can also be that there have been some devaluation in their lives, and they are therefore lashing out because they were treated so badly, so they lash out in, because they're frightened, basically. And also, this card, when it's really negative, it can mean that there's actually a lot of promiscuity and seduction, but sort of negative. Like, it's not like positive seduction, it's like negative. And it is obviously then, it's psychologically, just trying to make up for how they're feeling, basically. So look at how you feel. If you get this card reversed, look at how you feel, negative feelings, self-feelings, and how that shows up in your life. And see if you can get to the bottom of it to heal it. Because when it's a personality type and it's reversed, it is someone who feels alone and is a worrywart, but can become very promiscuous. That's when it's really negative, and become like a negative person, but more like lashing out because they feel so under attack themselves. And maybe they also go looking for love in all the wrong places, So they can be, when I'm writing about personality types, it's not, no one's stuck in this personality forever. It is a period where maybe someone goes through something that's difficult, and then the negative aspect of the psyche comes out. So no one is stuck in like Empress Reversed like forever. It is something that needs to heal, But when she's reversed, she can be very needy, and she can be a lot of work to deal with, and can also be emotional issues that basically you need to look at or you'll have no peace of mind, basically. So let's have a look at what the Empress acts like when she's in love. I love this topic. So when she's in love with you, she feels a strong sexual chemistry and attraction to you. And she's very sensual, and love is very important to them. So she will provide you with the emotional and physical comfort that they crave themselves. The Empress can also represent possessiveness and smothering, because when we're in love, we're triggered actually. We're quite triggered when we're in that state. So it means that she can then become overly possessive as well. And she can be overly attached and dependent. And maybe she'll have some problem setting healthy boundaries. So this is what might need to be resolved early in the relationship. They want a home, and they want deep roots. They want security. So when she's in love, she often dresses the part with clothes, makeup, hair, and eye contact. She has seductive, the way she acts, like her body language will be seductive. She might be like a little bit like go really overboard. Like, when she is in love with someone, that she suddenly dresses up and puts on lots of makeup, and she really, really puts effort into her physical looks. She starts taking care of herself, and she has this major, major glow up. And when she's in love with you, she stops neglecting herself. She starts really looking after herself because she wants you to obviously notice her. So when the Empress personality archetype is in love, she has a major, major glow up. She does her hair, her makeup, everything. So you can really, really tell then when she is in love. And I'm doing a playlist, and the song that really is the Empress archetype song is that Charlene, Never Been to Me. That song, that's the Empress. So if you listen to that song, you know what the Empress energy is, because that song it literally is the Empress. So yeah, she's a very loving woman. And when I met the Empress in real life, I have sometimes, there was one woman, she was very, she was the Empress Reversed. And she did a lot of damage because she was the Empress Reversed. But the Empress Upright, I've also been around the Empress when she's at her best and she's upright, and it is the most beautiful, nurturing energy. And by the way, it can be a male as well, because my grandfather and his partner are both the Empress archetype. There's 6 life paths, both of them, and they have a 4 in the numerology as well. So they're actually double 6. Actually, both of them have double 6, and 6 in numerology is very, very nurturing. So they have a 4 and a double 6 in their blueprint numerology. So they are positives. They're positive in their Empress energy. So when you're in their environment, you just feel like you're living some sort of like dream life. You know, you feel like there's just so much amazing food. There is amazing. Everything looks amazing. Everything is super comfortable. Breakfast is like luxury sort of experience. It's like wow, it's like the amount of different foods they have available for just a regular breakfast. The coffees are amazing. Everything they do everything they do is amazing. Everything looks awesome. It's super cozy. You're super nurtured all the time. Breakfast with grandpa is just like you feel like you're some sort of royal celebrity or something. Like you just get yeah, it's just a little bit different from what other people tend to provide, but it is their numerology as well. Like, and I often see the Empress. There's very often a number 6 connected to the Empress, and the 6 number is incredibly loving and nurturing. So when you have double 6, you know, you get the extra, and so that's the Empress. So I thought I'd tell you about that. But when Empress is reversed, it's chaos. It's chaos energy, and so. But you know, you don't have to put up with the reverse of anything. You know, you can. The reverse, basically, I tell you when it was reversed. So someone was in a relationship with somebody who was completely unstable. It was just so much chaos, and things got thrown out of the balcony. You know, he had this mega expensive bike and everything that he spent thousands and thousands of dollars on, and it got thrown out the veranda. Everything got thrown out of the veranda. And when I asked who she was, I expected to get the Tower, but I got the Empress. So I realized that she was Empress Reversed, and they were just telling me that the Empress, as awesome as she is, when she's reversed, she is the opposite, basically. So, but yeah, if you ever had if you've had the pleasure of being around an Empress upright, you'll be nurtured like nothing else, like, you know. And it's usually with food. You know, if you get it with the Queen of Pentacles, she's also a bit like that as well. Very nurturing through food. Everything is cozy. Everything is beautiful. Everything is clean and tidy. You know, it's the coziest of the cozy world. It's a hobbit lifestyle, basically. So that's the Empress. That's also Queen of Pentacles as well. Okay, guys, love you so much. Bye bye.